everyone, it's Kristi. I am here. Really quick, I want to do a quick little, I guess it's a happy meal because it made me happy. I ordered a blender from Shell and Clint Radcliffe, the Ramblin crafter, on Etsy and YouTube, and look at how gorgeous this is. Oh my gosh, I just love the coloring. Man, I was, I've been using these little things for a while, but they just disintegrate and make a huge mess. And I've seen everyone getting one of Clint's blenders, and I was getting jealous, so I had to order me one, and it came a few days ago, so I wanted to share that with you. So cool. I will leave the link below. I know there's a waiting list to get the blenders, but isn't that beautiful? Clint does some really great work, and I'm just so excited to use it. She also sent me a little bag of goodies, and I'm just excited to get one of these bags because I've never had one of these before. I mean, it's the little things, right? And look at this bag with all the little, looks like stars and diamonds or whatever. And there was some goodies in here, some vintage buttons in pink, my favorite color. Oh, look at how cute is this little spool. And I think Clint's mom is the one that does this tatting, because I've purchased some of these before. They're just beautiful. And I taught myself to tat, but I've done only a few things, and nothing this tiny and delicate. I hope you can see that. Beautiful. And then some, I guess they're definition cards, and really cool. I'm not sure what language that is, but that was cute. And then I got a little kitty paper clip from the kitties. So anyway, thank you so much, Shell and Clint, for my blender and the goodies. I'm so excited to use these, and yeah, just very cool. I am so excited. So that mail made me very happy. So if I'm going to set this aside, I wanted to work on some faux handmade paper-ish. I use ish when I don't know what I'm talking about, guys. So sorry about that. Anyway, let me get this blender. I don't want to get any glue on it. This is red rosin paper that Connie sent me a while back, and I wanted to show, Connie had asked me, actually this is both from hers, I don't know if this will show up on camera or not, but she had asked me if I got the roll that I ordered from, I think I ordered it on Amazon. I went to Home Depot and I ordered it on Amazon, and then it was delivered right to my house. Huge roll of red rosin. I will probably never use that. Probably have to leave it in my will to one of my children. But she was asking me about the colors, and I said that this was darker, but actually in comparing the two, it looks like the one Connie sent me is a little bit darker. The texture is very similar. Now, Connie said hers was years and years old. I'm not sure how old. But the texture, as far as the thickness, is the same, feels the same. Connie's is smoother. This one feels more like, well, construction paper. Why do they call it construction paper? Perhaps it started out being used in construction, Anyway, that's what this is for. This is paper that you put under your stairs or under your flooring. It's a moisture barrier. It is not acid free. And so, if you want to use this with something that you are worried about using acid-free paper with, you will want to use something that is acid neutral to coat it or put something between it. You can use shellac varnish. I'm going to be using Mod Podge. Mod Podge is acid free. The technique we're going to be using today for the faux paper will protect that, and then I will do the backside with the Mod Podge as well. I'm using the flat, not flat, matte Mod Podge, and so that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to use this piece that Connie sent me, and my glue is a little, I'm just using a little bit of watered down Mod Podge. Mine is a little bit on the thin side, as you can see. But I want to make sure that I can spread this around, and it will thicken back up also. It's going to take a little bit longer to dry, but there again, this material is supposed to be a moisture barrier. It's not moisture proof, but it does, I guess, wick the moisture. I'm not sure. I'm not in construction. I don't even know why I'm trying to speculate, but I just know I need for this technique to have a lot of glue so that my items can stick to it. So I probably would have preferred it to be a little bit thicker, but this is what I have because this is what I use for decoupage, so that's what I'm using. Okay, so this is not my original idea. Of course, you've seen it everywhere on YouTube, but I believe I first saw it from Treasure Books, Natasha. So I will leave her link below. I got some family-sized tea bags that my husband got from Walmart. He said, if you want tea, use that. It's nasty. So he went back to Lipton, and I get the tea bags. Yay! And so they're family size, so there's much more larger space. They're about 4 by 5, I think. So there we go. I'm just putting a little bit of the tea. This is not a used tea bag. This is just straight out of the box. And the only reason for that is because we don't like it. It's very bitter. And all right. You can use other items on here. I was going to go to Dollar Tree and see if I could find a thing of potpourri so it would have dried flowers to cut up in here, but I forgot. I got sidetracked. So I'm going to use a little bit of eyelash trim, and I think this is probably just going to blend into the background because of the color. This is almost like a beige tan, something like that, but it will give it some texture. Now I'm gonna actually, I think I'm gonna do is cut off these so I can spread them around, because if I just clip them like that, my camera is not high enough for you to see what I'm doing. Either that or my hands are going to be in front of the camera. So I'm just going to cut off some of these. I don't know if you can see that. I'm just cutting off some, and then I'll spread it around. The tiny little eyelashes around the paper. And some of it's coming in chunks, but that's okay. And I think Natasha used feathers. I think feathers would be fun if I knew where they were. I probably have some somewhere, and they'd probably be really easy to find right now since it's coming near Easter time. And, well, we've just gotten through Valentine's Day, but you know how the stores are. They're way ahead. They're doing Christmas in August, so okay. I just wanted to pick up a few that were bunched up, but I'm not real concerned about that. Okay, then I have a few other threads that I got. bobbin threads, or I happen to have a bunch of thread for embroidery that's on a pegboard, and I just have strings hanging everywhere, and I just went with my scissors and cut off the bottom of it to get some pieces there. I think I want to cut this one in half. Have a little bit over there. Don't really want them in a straight line. I'd like them to be more organic, so I'm going to come in here with I use this I'm totally blank. Scoring tool. I use my scoring tool quite a bit for other things. Yeah, this one's a little straight. Let's do some wiggly lines. Here we go. Well, that's a longer piece than I thought. Let's see if I have any more over here. I think that's what I have. Okay, and then we want to take some little pieces of the tea bag and just oh, I made a mess here. I'm just going to wipe that over here. It'll come right off. My paintbrush is dripping on the side. Okay, so we want to take some little pieces of the tea bag and press those down. And because this is not a used tea bag, these aren't dark. If you wanted like brown pieces or whatever, you know, you could steep your tea bag, or used tea bags would be dark. And then that's going to give you more of a contrast. So let's see. Just put a few pieces here and there. Got one more little piece here. Let's see if we can get these. I'm trying not to get the edge where it's all embossed, and I'm trying to do irregular shapes, but sometimes when you try to do irregular, you still get regular. And that's because of the grain of the bag here. It is, after all, paper. And you can see this is already starting to dry. Like I said, you could use dried flowers, you could use feathers, you can pretty much put anything in here that you want. You could, I guess it would look really cool with poppy seeds. It might be more texture, but I think that would be fun. I want just one little tiny piece up here somewhere. Yeah, it's not staying. Not quite wet enough. I think that's enough. I think that's what I'm going to go with. Now I have all these little pieces. Now, as far as the top, you're going to want the middle piece of a napkin. On the other one I have, I'm going to do a swap out here because it does take a long time to dry. But I used the bottom piece of this napkin. This is, let me show you the actual napkin. It's this napkin that I got from Shell at the Ramblin Crafter. And I'm using the middle piece, and the middle piece has, I don't know if you can see it, but it has some of the design on it. So when I lay that over, I'm hoping I will capture some of those butterflies there. And then I'm just going to press that down. I'm not worried about those lines, they'll work their way out. But I want to press that down. This is what's going to hold everything onto your paper, and this will kind of melt into the background. But you can see those little butterflies, they're just very, very faint, and I think that looks cool. So let's take and start in the middle and just start brushing out. And you want to be careful of the air pockets, because if the air pockets dry with the air in them, then your paper, your napkin will separate from the paper. So you want to watch the pockets, and that's why I'm going from the center outwards. Like so. And if you do get an air bubble, I'm looking to see if I have one. Sometimes you'll get them, sometimes you won't. You can just kind of do a little dabbing motion. If you get a hole in your paper while you're spreading it, I'm not too concerned about the holes because I think they add to the texture. But if it bugs you, just tear off another little piece of this outside, the napkin on the outside, and put it on top and just glue it down. It'll just look like another piece of whatever texture. But so you can see a little butterfly there. That's going to look really cool. So just basically making sure that the napkin is saturated. So I'm going to finish this right here, and then I will come back with the swap out that's dry after I clean up. Be right back. Before I forget, one more thing that you want to make sure of is that you're going around the edges and making sure that is completely sealed, because you don't want the outside edges to peel apart. So I did use quite a bit of the Mod Podge for this. I've done 2 of these, and I believe I used, well, let's see, this is a this is a 2-ounce container, so I probably used a good ounce and maybe half an ounce of water, because I usually do a 2-to-1 formula for decoupage. So yeah, just make sure you get around the outside edges. I'm using a non-stick grill mat. That's what I usually do my decoupage and gluing and hot gluing on, just to make sure that it's not going to stick. But you could use wax paper, parchment, or whatever. And then what we'll do is, when this is dry, we will cut around it. I think Natasha used a book page, and then when she cut around it, of course, the book page came apart. Okay, I do want to show you one really quick thing. Right here, I just made a hole. So I'm just going to take a piece from the corner here, and I'm just going to press it right down on there. It looks like I made the hole a little bit bigger, so let's put another piece. If you keep brushing, it will start to disintegrate, and I have a habit of doing that because I'm talking and not paying attention. So, and I'm still looking for air bubbles and kind of tapping out where I think there might be one, pressing down, just to make sure. And you can kind of tell, because if there's a raised place and you're tapping it and it moves, then that's an air bubble. You can see one right here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's kind of moving. So I'm just going to press it out until I think it's not a threat any longer. Okay, so I'm going to clean this up and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. This is the one I did the first time, and you can see I wasn't very careful about sprinkling the tea around. I did it a little bit too close. You can distribute it better if you do it up here. The paper does darken. You can see this is the original. Not a lot, but somewhat. And I am noticing that the eyelash trim pretty much disappeared, so I would want to use a contrasting color for that. I mean, it's beige, but it's just too close to the background color. You can see some of the threads and everything, but you know, this is the first time I'm doing this, so live and learn. I'm gonna cut this off so we can, this just cuts very nicely like that. And I'm trying to decide what I want to do with it. I guess maybe I'll make a journal cover with it. I was going to cut it 8.5 by 11, and I measured wrong. What do they say? Measure twice, cut once. But yeah, so this ended up being 7.5 by 11. So I cut it down. I think I cut it down to 10. So I'd probably make a 5 by 7 cover with this. And then the other one that's drying, I'll probably use for some ephemera. So I'm just checking this to see if the edges are good. You can put this under something heavy just to weigh it down. It doesn't feel real heavy or anything. It feels actually quite nice. So let's see, did I cut this down? It is 7.5 by 11. So I'll probably cut that down a 1/2 inch and make that into a cover. Let's just fold this though for now. See how well it does. Still pliable. It's not stiff. That's one of the things I like about the matte Mod Podge. I usually don't have too much of a problem. Let's see if it will, how it will do with the corner rounder. I am going to trim this down, but we'll play for a second here because these aren't quite even. Let me do one at a time just to see how it reacts. Oh yeah, same. So, I mean, basically all we've got is the paper and some threads and napkins. Yeah, it didn't make it too thick. I will put something on this side or Mod Podge it just to keep it, the acid from being on the papers. But there again, you know, in junk journaling, you know, we're recycling things that are old and yellowed, and that's the nature of what we do. And those are not acid free. That's why they're yellow. So you can easily neutralize them by either spraying them with a shellac or something like that, or Mod Podging, or putting something between them. You know, that's why we used to mat the photos. So anyway, I think that turned out really cool. I like it. I do want to play with some other things, but I think I'm going to make a pink journal, and I think I'm going to have to use those buttons that Shell gave me in it, and some other pink things I have around here, and I think that's my next project. So I hope you'll tune in again. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.